teenager to be where you are. I mean, you know how it feels like. At least you've been toddlers, you've been children. Now when you're coming here this morning, let me just find out. Did your parents have to choose your clothes for you and all that? Hey, get closer to the microphone. They did? Okay, yours weren't chosen, but they chose yours for you.
For me, they asked me to wear something, but to be honest, I didn't really want to. So I begged them that I wanted to change one thing in the outfit, and then they were like, okay. But then I still wish I could change it, but I'm okay with it now.
You still wish you didn't wear what you're wearing. Okay, but so whose idea is this? Your mom?
Yeah.
What reason did she give?
To be honest, I don't know. I didn't ask her really, but I mean, I kind of like it, but I had something else in mind.
Okay, and you couldn't tell her you had something else in mind?
I could, but it's complicated.
Ace! We're getting there. So what? Are you suggesting that the world of a teenager is a very difficult one?
Yeah, it can be at times.
It can be,
Yes.
We'll get into it. Lorraine, were your clothes chosen as well?
No, I chose my own clothes. But then she wanted to see them before I wore them, but she wasn't at home, so she doesn't know what I'm wearing currently.
Okay, and if she saw them and she wasn't comfortable with them, were you going to change in any way?
Yeah, we had a little disagreement about clothes last night.
Okay.
She wanted to see what I was wearing, but then I didn't know what I was going to wear, so maybe she would have been okay with this.
She would have been okay.
Yeah, but my granddad wouldn't have been okay with this. But then he still saw it anyway.
And he didn't say anything though?
No, but then I could tell he was not comfortable with what I was wearing.
Okay, you're wearing a pair of pants.
Trousers.
Yes.
Jeans with black shoes
And a t-shirt. And so why do you think your granddad wasn't going to be comfortable?
Because he doesn't like the color black.
Oh, just that.
Yeah, he says black signifies death. So
Yes, sir. Okay, and you don't think so, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, what do you think of black?
Oh, I think
It's just the color.
Not it's just a color. I know it has meaning, but then I think black goes with everything. Black is something you can wear anywhere.
Like a universal color, and you can put anything on it and then it goes.
Exactly.
And you seriously don't understand why, it should just go with death and, nothing else.
Exactly, because I think even if you want to wear black to your wedding, that's your wedding. You can wear black.
That's right. Okay. How about you?
Good. Oh,
It wasn't chosen for you.
Oh yeah, I chose my own clothes.
Okay, and your parents approved of it, or they didn't have anything to say about it?
They approved.
They-
I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Because they didn't say anything. How about you, Sonia?
Yeah, I chose and I showed it to her, but she wanted me to wear blue jeans instead of black jeans.
What reason did she give?
I don't know, she just said that I should wear blue jeans.
Okay. How about you?
She asked me to choose what I was going to wear yesterday and show them to her, so she agreed from wearing.
So we're on radio, so Mami is she today. It's fine. Okay. So I pretty much understand that you would like to be independent at this age.
Definitely, yeah.
You would like to be independent.
Yeah.
Do you wish that your parents don't, sorry, they don't really nose around your life and, try to contribute and dictate to things, every petty thing you do? Do you wish you're left alone to be on your own at this age?
No.
Well, I think they should be involved, but getting into it in detail, they should let us have a little bit of freedom.
Okay. Do we all share the same
I
concerns?
think they should allow us to make a mistake so that they
Yeah.
can correct us.
Eh?
Instead of jumping in before we can even make the mistake.
Okay. So they should allow you to make the mistakes.
And they can correct us and teach us a lesson.
But you know that some mistakes are indelible.
Yes.
How about those ones?
And those ones they can jump in.
So okay. So how do we know?
I think
Which ones would you want them to allow you to make? Give me examples.
Like choosing friends. Like
Okay.
sometimes you go out for a program and like your parents are like, okay, go to this person. I think she's a good person. Go and sit by her. Like they shall like choose your friends, make your own friends, and see how you relate to other people. So that later, when something happens, they can tell you that I've seen that this thing has happened. So I think you should associate yourself with these people. Yeah.
I see. I don't want to come and play God here this morning. All I want to do is listen to you, and I know parents out there are listening as well. So, hopefully they get to call into the show, and then we'll share some thoughts with you as well. Okay, so, they should allow you to make some of these mistakes. But you see, I am a parent. If I'm sitting back and I realize that where you're going or who you're associating with, could be detrimental, why would I still keep quiet and watch you fall into a ditch before I can pull you out?
But then you could also make a mistake.
Who could? The parent?
Yeah, maybe it's just an assumption and it's going nowhere, but then you think that it's going too far, but then...
But we believe we have been your age.
Yeah, but the errors...
And certain errors are avoidable if we spoke to you and you listened.
So I think what parents should do is that when you realize that your child is going wayward, then you sit down, you talk to the child about it. But there are some parents, they just make a whole big deal about it, and for all you know, that what you are like talking to your child about, maybe he or she wasn't even going to do that in the first place. So
And I think that it depends on how they try to guide us. If you realize that your child is going wayward and you try to talk to them about it, and instead of talking to them about it, you become judgmental and you make them feel like they have made the biggest mistake ever, it would be hard for them to listen to you the next time. They'll feel like whenever something happens, you don't even ask how they feel about it. You don't even try to understand it from their point of view. You feel like because you were a teenager once, it might be the same thing, but you probably were a teenager in a very different era, and times are different now, and the children are different as well.
Oh, they say we are old school. Yes, you're saying.
Yeah, I was agreeing with her that what she said is very true.
Hey, we're in trouble. We're teenagers in some era. So what? The 80s and the 90s. This is a different era, so we have to allow. Do you also agree that, you should be allowed to make mistakes before we jump into it?
Yes, I think we should be allowed to make certain mistakes, but others, I think that like our parents should be able to like be there for us and like prevent us from making certain mistakes.
Okay, so and you see, the thing is, you people are beginning to choose the mistakes we should allow you to make, but we're not magicians. And there's a saying that you can't give what you don't have. You understand? I have walked a certain path before. And so when I see you walking that path, I am able to tell you that this could be dangerous. But you are thinking that, okay, so for instance, let me give you an instance. There's a party you want to attend. And I personally still believe that, even at this age, you shouldn't be allowed to attend a party where there is no adult supervision. Do you agree?
Yes.
Lauren, do you agree?
Well, I think it depends on the party.
Okay, I'm
Because
listening.
if you are going with friends and then your mom knows the friends you are going with, the people, how they relate, and your mom is comfortable with them, I don't think there needs to be adult supervision. And you need to trust your child. Like, if you know you have raised your child in the right path, you
Things
trust
happen.
your child.
Things happen. So if you're attending my daughter, she comes to tell me I am attending a birthday party. Okay, great, because the exposure is good for you people. But where I know that the birthday party is organized by teens and will be attended only by teens, and there won't be any parents or any adults there to have an overview of the party, I don't think I would want you to attend.
Yeah, that's very true.
Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't feel hurt.
No, I'd actually be annoyed because I thought you would trust me enough that, I wouldn't do that. If there's something wrong happening,
It's not. We're not saying you're going to do anything.
Yeah, what if someone does something to you
There's no adult there to see it. What happens then?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
But I feel like sometimes when parents say don't do this, don't do that, some parents they don't give reasons. Like maybe I don't want you to go to this party because there's this happening, there's that happening. They won't tell you that. They'll just be like, don't go, don't go. They won't tell you what they really, really mean. I don't know why some parents do that.
Do you ask questions?
You might, but then sometimes they don't give you like straightforward answers. I don't like, maybe they want to keep you innocent.
Oh God, I always love these moments because you get to learn a lot. Like you think that you're probably a super mom, you're doing everything for your children, you're ensuring that no harm comes their way, and they're sitting back and just thinking that, this woman is just being overprotective. So share with me, getting a bit, personal now. What kinds of relationships do you have with your parents? Your parents, your dad, your mom. How close are you to them? And what do you talk about with them? Let me start with you, Sonia.
So we usually talk about school, how life is, like how my friends are, because she knows my friends. And like we're close to that extent. Like one day she was annoyed with me and I was like, Mama, Mama, Mama. And then she was like, don't call me Mama. And her name is Patience. I was like, Patience. And she started laughing. Sometimes I feel like when she's annoyed, the only way like to get her to be happy with you again is to annoy her.
Oh!
Like
to annoy her even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're friends.
My friend.
You are friends with your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
How about
yeah.
your father?
Yeah, yeah, we're also close. Like, he usually allows me to do things when I ask him.
He doesn't probe too much, like mommy would.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you have some requests, you'd rather take it to daddy.
Yeah.
I see. And you're able to talk about everything with your mom?
Yeah. Mostly everything.
So what don't you talk about?
Maybe when I get in trouble in school.
You don't come to tell her?
Yeah, sometimes I tell her. Sometimes like I don't.
I know at this age, let's not kid ourselves. You have, boys admiring you here and there. Are you able to tell her those?
Yeah, yeah. But now I don't really look at those things again because like I'm in Form 3.
Yes. What is it about being in Form 3?
Like you have to now learn how so that you can choose your subjects for IG. So like you have to really force.
Okay. But then when times like that, you are able to still talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Karen, how about you?
Oh, same here. I'm quite close with my parents, especially my dad. I gossip with him a lot.
Okay. Okay. And you are able to talk to your dad and your mom about everything?
Not everything, because they're sensitive about some things, and sometimes I feel like not telling them some things means that I'm being considerate, but I have learned that I'm actually not, and it's going to be detrimental to my health and to my relationship with them. So now I try to tell them everything. Before I wasn't telling them everything.
What were you holding back from them?
Well, like emotional stuff. If something happens, I'd usually just like become detached and not talk to anybody and not tell anybody about it. But then
I am interested in, maybe one specific instance.
Okay, so one time something happened in school, and before the school I was in, we were really close to my seniors. So all seniors and juniors were friends. There was no discrimination or segregation. And one time somebody said I said something, and something about a friend who was a senior. And instead of asking me about it, she just believed it, and then all of a sudden the whole group stopped talking to me.
Oh.
And it was very sad because, what's the point of going to school if you don't have friends? I would rather be homeschooled. But I didn't tell anybody about it, and I kept it to myself. Then I realized that I wasn't talking to my mom as much as I did before, because I was afraid that I would slip up and tell her about the things that happened in school. And it'll make her sad, or they'll make it a big issue and want to go to the school or something. So yeah, stuff like that, I kept away from them, but now I tell them everything.
And is it better now,
Yeah.
opening up and telling them everything?
Yeah, it's much better.
Did they make it easy for you to approach them and tell them, everything?
Yes, the thing about my parents is that they are very observant, and they can tell when you're off, even in the slightest. So they're always asking, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I don't know, like, it makes me happy. It's like they care constantly. They don't care only when you look sad. Even when you look happy, they ask you, "Are you okay?"
What's making you, what's exciting you and all
Exactly.
that. Okay, great. I pushed a bit on that because I wanted to find out that you tell them everything, but did they create that enabling environment for you to be able to approach them and tell them everything? And your answer to that is yes. Great. Let me come to you, Lauren.
Yeah, to me, my mom is like my best friend. I can tell her everything, just that I choose not to tell her some things.
Oh, which ones do you choose not to tell her?
The ones which, there are some things you tell her, she just brushes it off. Like, it's not really relevant to her. So those ones, I don't tell
I
her.
still want, examples of those. For instance,
Um,
don't generalize it. Just one. One of those.
something like, maybe I like this person, the person doesn't like me back, and then the person is constantly doing things to hurt me. I can't quite tell my mom. Like, I don't want to tell her. Because she'll probably see it as one of those little things that when you're growing up, you go to, and then she'll be like, oh, just focus on your studies, that kind of thing. But then my dad is always like, do you have a boyfriend? When are you getting a boyfriend? And it's like, I'm like, those are not the things I'm supposed to be thinking of. My mom always goes like, by 16, I should have a boyfriend. I should start a family early and that.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting. And I mean, is it usually a joke or they're serious about it?
Honestly, I don't know.
You can't tell.
Yes, because we talk about a lot of things.
So, I mean, most importantly, you have that relationship with them
Yes.
where you get to talk about a lot of things.
Yes, except when a teacher gives a bad report about me. My mom won't listen to me
Okay.
because the teacher is always right.
Right. She won't have your side of the story.
No.
Okay. All right. So it looks like pretty much we all have very good relationship with our parents. And it's interesting how you would decide that, okay, I would say this and not say this. I get it. Nicole.
I think my relationship with my parents is really, really good. Like my mom, for instance, sometimes she knows me very well actually. If she's doing this thing or saying this thing, and then sometimes I don't even say anything to her, but then she knows that I'm upset. I don't need to say anything, and then she knows. So yeah, that's one thing about my mama. But then I think we disagree on a lot of things.
Okay, like what?
One thing that we always fight about when I'm going out, what I should wear, because my style is very different from hers.
Tell me, what's your style?
I want to be comfortable, but look good at the same time. For example, when I was coming here, I didn't plan to wear this.
What would you rather wear?
I just wanted to wear jeans, a shirt, and then a jacket on it.
Oh,
And then,
Charlie.
something casual. And I wear sneakers, and then she chose this. So
To look like
some professional. I don't even know. Yeah, that's one thing we argue about, how I look, how I dress, how I how I walk around. It means something if I'm slouching too much or I drag my feet. There's so many things there are many things I do, and then my mom always has a problem with it. But I think that it's normal, and I like that she does that, because sometimes I don't realize I'm doing
It's
certain
wrong.
things. So I like that when I'm going wrong, she tells me, because I know people who don't have that rapport with their parents.
you know people like that in your school?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
they are going, the things they are doing, our friends, we see it, and then our friends ourselves are like, hey, does your mom know, does your dad know? And they are like, no. And I'm like, wow, because I feel like parents should know about these things. So if you don't go and tell your parents about this, then it means your relationship with your parents is
It's not a very good one. But are you also able to approach them and talk about everything and anything?
Yes and no. Some certain things I can't.
I am interested in the certain things that you people can't talk about.
Okay. I don't know how to explain it, but then maybe.
For instance, if you had a boy saying he likes you, you can't go talk about that one.
I think I've done it before, and then it didn't go as planned. It didn't go as planned.
So how did you plan it, and how did it go?
Oh well, what even happened? Okay, well, she knew the boy personally, so the first time I told her, she was surprised because she didn't think like I was into those things. So she was like, hey, do you do this? Do you talk to him like this? Do you sit here with him? Do you do these things? And then I was like, okay, no, I don't talk to him like this. And then she was like, well, it's normal, but you shouldn't let that get in the way of your studies. And then some other time too, I told her, and that one she was teasing me. She was teasing me with the person that, hey, so now I have a boyfriend and all those things. I think that's one of the things my parents are very, very, like, that's the thing that they talk about me and boys, because I've had a lot of problems in that area. So when it comes to boys, they are very, very careful with me.
When you say you've had a lot of problems in that area, what do you mean?
Okay, well, for one, I was talking to this person I shouldn't have been talking to, and then they told me. And then
okay, so is it like you were talking to the person by way of liking the person in that sense?
Not exactly. Like,
you're just close.
Yeah, like we used to talk on the phone. That was the thing. And my parents were like, they don't even know the person, so I should stop. And then to me, I was like, but like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not harmful or anything. So I thought I knew better than them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept on talking, and then eventually they found out, and they were very, very sad. Because they trusted me, and they thought I was.
Their hearts were broken. Yeah. I know.
it was sad.
Okay, so what, that's mended now? That's resolved?
To some extent, I'm trying to win back their trust.
On that level?
Yes.
Interesting. Do we have a good relationship?
Well, yes. I mean, we do, but there's just times that, I mean, I want to, like, open up to you and tell you some certain things, but I just don't know how to, like, bring it up.
Hey, seriously, I thought we talked about everything.
No, we do, but, I mean, for example, let's say, I like someone. I don't know how to tell you, because if I tell you, you just end up giving me a whole speech about sex education.
Yes.
Like, you don't want to, like, listen to what I'm saying and understand me. You just start going, don't go and do this, don't go and do that. I just, like, it just defeats the whole purpose of me coming to you, because I want advice, like, for you to understand me, be able to relate with me and tell me what I'm supposed to do. But you just give me a whole speech on how I shouldn't go and do this to the person, and how the person could damage my future and all that stuff.
Okay, but you okay. This is now getting very personal. You never made me feel like you didn't like those speeches.
No, I mean, it's not like I don't like them.
Because interestingly, unless of course she's hiding certain things, she can't wait for me to get back from work. You have to get back from work, and sometimes even when you get back and you're sleepy, mommy, this happened, and we have to talk about everything. I know there are times that she has even received some love letters and things like that. She'll bring them, we'll open them and read them, and sometimes laugh. And then, but you know, that's what every mother and every father would do. How old are you? You have a child who is becoming a teenager. And then all of a sudden, you feel this person is, swaying or veering off. How do you expect a mother or a father to start encouraging you in that regard? You can make mistakes. And like I said from the beginning, some of the mistakes could be dire. You understand? And so, and this is what our mothers told us when we were growing up. They would tell you, I am not following you wherever you are going. But wherever it is that you go and whatever happens, this is my answer to it. This is what I do not expect from you. You get it? And so, yes, we will give you the speeches. We will tell you what we know. We will give you instances of mistakes people have made in that regard. But at the end of the day, do we follow you to school?
No.
Do we follow you everywhere?
No.
So when you find yourself in a certain situation where you are alone, then you will have to start reflecting on the conversations you have had and start thinking of, okay, which one do I select? Which one do I not? Okay, go on.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I guess we've had a few problems.
Okay.
Like, like some time ago, like, I don't know what happened. It's just, I just felt like very hurt because now I feel like I can't like talk to you like that way anymore.
Eh?
Because I feel like, like you don't trust me. Like I feel very awkward around you sometimes. Because like some time ago when I wanted to go out and like you got upset because of what happened the last time. Like I just felt very hurt. I was like, okay, so it means that like I'm never going to get to go anywhere anymore because like after what happened you're not going to like give me another chance to like go out and like prove that like you can trust me
Again. But then I think you have to be learning from Nicole, because what she says she's doing is that you're working to attain the trust again.
But it's not easy because already the trust is broken. So for you to find like that gap and then squeeze yourself in there.
It's what even happens in relationships with, married people. When a trust in a relationship is broken, you will have to work hard. I mean, you may not get it, 100% again. But then you will have to work hard to, come up. Because then it's like, okay, we started on a very clean slate where, there are no blemishes and everything was going on well. And because probably your partner thought that you had a very, very good relationship, they just closed their eyes to certain things and then you just had your way, and everything. And then just because I trusted you or I trust you, you just did something and your heart is broken and the trust is broken. Who caused it? You caused it. So if you want us to have a clean slate back, then you will have to go and look for all the erasers and all the, that thing. Yes, the correction fluid and everything to keep correcting until, you have a clean slate again. And then it's not easy. I understand. It's not easy. And sometimes I'll be activating the phone lines very soon to hear from parents. Sometimes it's also because parents, we have fears in us. You can't just sit back and watch your child go wayward. Like, you feel like, hey. So I know, as for the two of you, your parents were very good friends. So some of these things we know. And once it happens, you're like, okay. And a parent could also feel taken for granted. Yes. Your parents felt that way before?
Several times.
They feel taken for granted. That because I gave you the opportunity to do all of this, you think that you can just, work on us and do just what you want. So parents feel taken for granted sometimes. And if that happens and you, the child, you're saying you're hurt, okay, have your hurt. I have my way. I am the boss here. So you can decide to be hurt all you want. And sometimes, we know you don't like it. We know you're hurting. But really, the decision is mine to make. And once I feel this is the best decision, I really can't be bothered about how you feel. We do that sometimes. True or false?
True.
And so when you find out that you are in that space with your parents, what do you do? Especially so when they feel taken for granted. What do you do?
For me, I try to tell them that I'm not taking them for granted and
You try to con them.
Yes. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it works because when I start doing things in the house and doing things to make them happy, then it works.
This girl knows how to mend relationships. How about you?
Yeah, you just apologize and try your best to make sure that they don't feel like that ever again.
And do you feel they have genuine reason for feeling that way?
Yeah, I know that as kids, sometimes we go overboard. So sometimes I understand them when they feel like that.
Okay, great.
Well, basically, for a while, we won't be talking like we used to. And then suddenly we just come back. Sometimes, most of the time, I'm the one who's apologizing. I don't remember the last time my mom apologized for being wrong. But then, for a while, we just don't talk.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have to write a letter or something, or talk to her and be like, oh, the relationship is gone, and then for a while, then after a couple of days, we would now come back.
Do you think we don't understand you?
Yes, a lot.
Yes.
Hey, everybody says yes a lot. Okay. How so?
I think one thing is you guys, you always say, I've been your age before, I've been a teenager before. But then you were a teenager in like another time.
You're
and
calling
now
us
things have
old
changed.
school. We like it.
Not exactly, but then that's like one of the things that just like hurts us. The way you say I've been your age before, so I know that this is what is happening. But then that might be it to some extent, but you might not fully know the story, because maybe, okay, your story is similar, but at a point the chapters, like, they change. And so I don't know, parents just have to trust their children and then just make them feel that, okay, though we might not have gone through like the exact same thing, I kind of know how you're feeling. So yeah, sometimes I feel like our parents don't understand us, but they try.
Do you think sometimes we don't understand you people? How so?
Well, yeah, because like probably the way I relate with some people, you might see like I'm doing something wrong, but I personally wouldn't think I'm doing anything wrong, because like you need to feel like, I know you guys think that like you're parents, so like you always know what's best for us, but sometimes we feel like you need to trust us. Like you need to like believe that we know what we're doing, because like we're not superhumans, but like neither are like you people. So you just need to like agree with us so that we can like all get along.
Hey, somebody's clapping. we are not superheroes. You two, you are not. We all make mistakes.
Yeah,
So we should always have a compromise.
yes,
Be on the same level.
we should have a halfway point.
We should meet you halfway. You also meet us halfway.
Yes.
Aye. Lauren, you think so too, right?
Yeah, I agree. Just that sometimes parents forget that now there are lots of emotional changes. I mean, now a lot of teenagers have a very negative image about their body, and are going through so much insecurity, are having depression. But then it seems like it's almost as if you don't know, or you know, or you're
So just ignore.
Yes, it's like people cut, but I don't think parents go to ask their children questions like, are you okay? Are you cutting? Do you need mental help? All they think is you're supposed to do well with your studies and then have a good time with life. But then the negative ones they know about are the clothes you are wearing out, how people
Perceive you and all.
But then they don't really care about what goes on in their mind.
I actually agree.
Top up. We're learning from you. That's actually the essence of this conversation. There are times that, we feel we're your parents, so we know everything, and you should listen to us. Because I bore you, especially so for mothers, I bore you in my womb for how many weeks? 40 weeks. When I was going through labor to have you, where were you? You know, and so I'm saying that's how we feel. And you are our responsibilities. You will have to turn out well. But yeah, I think like Jamel said, we're not superhumans. So that's the essence of a conversation like this, so that parents get to learn that, oh, okay, there are times that you don't always have to look at the physical. They could be needing psychological support, and we're not there offering that. And that's the biggest one I have picked out of this conversation so far. And also to realize that we are not superhumans for that matter. Okay. Yeah, you said you agree that we don't support you guys psychologically and all, and we're just thinking about, Charlie, you have to make the grades.
Yeah, because I feel like our teenage years are everybody's teenage years like the most stressful part of their life.
Tell me about it.
Because first of all, you have to figure yourself out.
All right.
And it's hard to figure yourself out if you're constantly changing. Because you're changing physically, and it won't always be great. Somebody might be changing in a better way, or you're changing mentally. All of a sudden, you don't think so rationally anymore. Your judgment is clouded by your emotions and stuff. And instead of being given help, or instead of adults understanding, they just tag teenagers as dramatic and moody and all that. But I feel like sometimes they intentionally they decide to have like selective memory. They decide to forget that they were once teenagers.
You people are being very mean.
These problems. We're just expressing ourselves.
We decide to have selective. Daniela, I need help in the studio. Well, I brought this upon myself. Wow. Sonia, you have something to add to that?
No, I just think what she's saying
is
right.
like absolute. Hey,
And it's been a long time. I don't know how many people have this, but then from a lot of my friends talking to them, they don't really have that relationship whereby I tell your parents I love you and then they reply with I love you. Because I don't know, if I tell my mom I love you, she'll probably go like or something. I don't get I love you back.
Okay, but that's a song that's sung in my home, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a song. I have my older twin. I mean, every day you drop her off, like it's a ritual. Hi, everybody, she waits. After saying, I love you, be good, and all that, and they respond, everybody goes. Then she comes to the car. Mommy, have a good day. Say thank you. You too. I love you. Me too. Stay well. I mean, it's a song. She has about 4 different things you say every day. You know. But yeah, if that means a lot to teenagers as well, I think that we parents will have to learn. We're accepting it. We're taking notes. I'm going to have a very short conversation with a very good friend of ours. She's going to come in, and then when she's done, I'll activate the phone lines, and then we hear from parents as well. But also to find out from you, what do you think about womanhood? And you will grow to become mothers someday. Are you sure you won't be doing the things we're doing?
We
Oh
might
God,
make mistakes,
give us
but-
strength, give us health, give us life, because we want to be here to see them become mothers.
Okay, maybe we might make the same mistakes.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yes.
I'll tell you, that we didn't like it when our parents were doing it to us, but then it kind of shapes you. Hi, good morning, Amma.
Hi, Adam. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Do you have a teenager yet?
Not yet, but in a couple of years.
Okay.
He's 11.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're listening to the conversation?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. We don't
Interested.
offer psychological support.
I took down some notes.
But how are you? You're glowing as always.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good
this
to
woman.
see you.
Yes, to see you too. How many years has it been? We talk on phone, we text and all that, and we get to enjoy breakfast every day. But we don't get to talk to you. Good morning and thank you. Amma is what? Are you the CEO, the director, the chairman, the board chair,
Only one.
everything?
Food 101.
She's the chief servant of Food 101. Food 101, they give us breakfast every Saturday morning to give our guests, and we're saying thank you. We've been doing this for like a year now.
Yes, every year and some months. I think.
Now.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. And yesterday, Lauren, was it you who was asking about breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay. When we had a conversation,
We'll have you sorted. Don't
she
worry.
said, are you going to give us some breakfast? I said, don't worry. Food
I have
101
it
has
packed
us
right
sorted.
away.
Everything is,
Thank you.
yeah.
You're welcome.
Yay,
You're
see.
welcome.
So what, do you serve only breakfast?
No,
Okay.
we serve everything food. We do corporate lunch.
Okay.
We do events, weddings, parties. We do lunch delivery. So everything food. is
I'm
us.
at the jollof. Oh.
Yes,
I'm checking
I
my
owe
weight
you.
by the jollof.
When you're ready, I'll bring the jollof.
Ghana jollof. Oh no, I'm going to start detoxing from Monday. You see.
Okay.
So we should arrange for me to eat it before then.
No problem.
Okay,
problem.
so you can set up. People can place orders.
Yes, you can place orders. For lunch, you have to reach us before 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yes, you call us on 020 or WhatsApp
Okay.
817-5025.
I bet we didn't get that. Easy.
Okay. So it's 020-817-5025.
020
Yes.
817
5025.
25. Okay,
Yes.
that's where you can reach Amma. Is that just for lunch, or you can be
Any
reached?
inquiries at all, or you can send us email services@food101ghana.com.
Okay, services at Food 101
Ghana, as in the
GH
numbers 101
1.
.com.
Ghana.
Ghana.com.
Okay, as in GHANA. Full.
Yes, for
Okay.
GHANA.com.
Okay.
Yes.
And so when people want to also have, parties at home for you to set up, I know we
Yes.
plan some surprises, something. You still
Yes,
do all of those?
I still do all those. So we are not boxed into providing just lunch or corporate lunch or any event that you need food at. Just call us. If it's for 2 people, for 5 people, for 10, for 20, for 1,000, just call
their
us.
service.
Yes, if it's a surprise, if it's dinner for 2, anything at all that has to do with food, you just call us and we plan it.
But you don't do cakes pastries,
Okay,
and
we do.
You do.
We
So
do
everything.
We do
Hey.
everything. And what makes our
Food 101
lunch?
has evolved.
Yeah, I have very competent caterers and chefs who are very good in their own fields.
Okay.
So somebody asked, how come you do everything? It's not handled by one person. Different people handle them.
Different things.
Yes. So with the lunch, we give you that home feel.
I know, especially the jollof.
Yes. And
Jollof
we give you
and
the
goat
kind
meat.
of forgotten foods like apapransan, potompoto, garifoto, all those things. You should try it. Abom, apesi. Yes. We give you all that.
Easy.
In your Eziban. Yes.
Oh, there's a
yes.
question on my mind. Where did it go? Do you have a setup? Like a restaurant, an eatery?
No.
Okay.
No, we provide catering services.
Services.
So anywhere within Accra, we deliver. You
All
just
right.
have to agree on location, what you want, the time, and then we deliver.
All right.
Yes.
Amma, thank you very much. Anything more you want to
You're
share with us before leaving?
So yes, 101 call us if you need anything food. As I said, our contact again is 020-817-5025.
Okay.
Or send us an email, services@food101ghana.com.
Daniela is asking, are you affordable?
Yes.
Is your
I
engagement
am.
coming up? Your graduation party, sorry.
Yes. Yes, we are. Our lunch ranges between 20 and 25 CDs, depending on what you're taking. Yes.
Oh, it's still like that.
It's still like that.
Wow.
It's still like that. And when people ask me, oh, how much is a plate for a wedding? I usually want to talk to you and find out what you want.
Budget and
so
what your
we don't
budget
have a
is.
standard rate. Just talk to us. By the time we finish our conversation, we'll have a menu, we'll have a rate, and you'll be very happy. So
Great.
engage us.
Amma, thank you very much.
You're welcome,
And
Madam.
we love the breakfast.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Great.
Thanks.
So you know what to do if you need anything with regards to food. So I am activating my phone lines now on 0302216541. My WhatsApp console is also buzzing with messages. I'm going to attend to them very soon. But whilst I wait for your phone calls, Nalem Clothing, the best place to buy quality and elegant Afrocentric garments and fashionable accessories, has outdoored the Nalem Ayed D3 promo for you. What was I reading really? Walk into any Nalem store and grab your Afrocentric garments for your friends and family as we celebrate Ghana Month. Gift vouchers are also available. We have in stock special outfits for gents, ladies, and kids. Locate Nalem at Accra Mall, Achimota Retail Centre, Junction Mall, Oxford Street Mall, West Hills Mall, a home store in Labadi, Kotoka International Airport, Terminals 2 and 3, and Kokomlemle Shop. You can also shop online at nalemstore.com or at ahomestore.com. Call Nalem on 050-139-7814 or 050-158-6418 for a real shopping experience. Nalem Ayede, where Nalem, where Ghana. T's and C's do apply. And Ghana's #1 property website, Mikasa, is bringing you Ghana's biggest housing fair this April. Join Mikasa.com together with Electroland from the 6th to the 7th of April 2019 at the Silver Star Tower for all your property needs and expert advice about real estate. Don't miss any amazing discounts from Electroland on electronics and appliances such as refrigerators, floor stands, ACs, only at Mikasa Home and Property Fair 2019. Find out more at mikasa.com/fair or call 050-68-66060 for more information. This event is sponsored by Gold Key Properties and MTN. Number to call again is 050-68-66060. And one more time, Home Affairs is sponsored by Indomie. Tastes great. Hi, is that Lucenda? Is that the name?
Yes, please.
Okay, Lucinda, how are you? Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome to Home
Okay.
Affairs.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
please, I have a question.
Are you a mother? A
No,
teenager?
yeah,
Which one? Mother, teenager?
no teenager.
Okay, is the question to me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
pretty much.
listening.
Okay. Should parents restrict their children from going out?
Okay, I thought we had conversations around those. If you want to go out, we need to know where you are going. Like I said, okay, this is me. At this age, if you're going out, it depends on where you're going. For instance, if it's a party, I would like the party to be under the supervision of an adult.
Yeah, but
Yes.
even though it's under the supervision of an adult, some parents don't allow their children to go out. Like no matter where they want to go.
Oh.
Like, is it right?
Okay, I think that for me, that's also very personal. I think that the children need the exposure as well. Once I am able to access and know that this is a safe place to go, and I can make arrangements for you to be taken and brought back. The male will say that usually I don't have issues with that. Even the little ones will come and tell you that, Mommy, we want to go and visit this. You want to go and visit this person. I tell you, your friend doesn't live on her own. Your friend doesn't own a house. You are in class 6. Your class 6 friend does not own a house. So if your friend's mother calls me to say that, oh, Adam, I'd like Kofi and Amma to come by, the way I'll push you to go. Because I know you have been invited by the person who runs the home. But I can't get up and let my child come to your house and say that, oh, I brought Kwesi and Amma because Akosia wants them to come. Why? Akosia, does she own a house? Does she buy water? Does she buy drinks? You get it. So, yes, going out, I am not the kind of parent, or my husband and I won't say that, oh, don't go. But we just need to be sure of where you're going and know, whom you're going with. A couple of times, at this age, when they come to tell you that, oh, we're going to watch a movie, probably, if I think it is safe, I know who and who are going, okay, we'll drop you off. At this time, we'll be there to pick you back home. Some, I think, for me, is safe, but don't go cry, yeah. Well, it depends on what the parent is seeing too. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you agree with me?
Yeah, somehow.
They say to an extent, so please, go on.
Yeah, can I get answers from them as well too? Because
okay, this is your friend. They want answers from you. They've talked about it, but yeah, you agree with me to an extent. Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, so I think that what you said is right. We need the exposure, but some parents don't allow their children to go out at all. And from my experience with the kind of friends I have met or the kind of people I have seen whose parents treat them like that, when they are not allowed to go out and one time they are allowed to go out and they have that opportunity, it's like
freedom.
Yes, they've been in one
they've
thing
been
for
caged.
so long. So now that they've been set free, they just go all out, and that's what parents don't want. Yes, they mess up. But I feel like if, as parents, you allow your children to go out, as long as you know who they're going with and where they're going, as long as you let them go and fraternize and probably make new friends or go with their old friends and make mistakes and stuff, they'll actually appreciate it. But when you cage them like that, they don't see it as you protecting them, even though like you're probably doing it for a good reason. You think you're protecting them or something. We won't see it like that. We would think that you're caging us. So the moment you set them free, they just go all out, and then what you've been fearing all along comes true.
Lucinda, are you cool?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank you very much for calling. You know what's interesting? Daniela, yesterday, no, you can go off and still listen. Yesterday when I had a conversation with them on phone, they were wondering if, there will be phone-ins. Are they going to be asking us questions? Are we the ones who are going to be answering the questions? See them now. They are experts. Okay. Before the next call comes in, I was asking what you think about womanhood. You will grow to become woman, and you are going to have the independence you so crave what would you be doing with it? I mean, there will come a time where we have to call to beg to find out, oh, Nicole, please, where are you? When are you coming back home? That time will surely come, and that's when you're becoming a woman. Just wondering what your perception and your thoughts about being there is like. Dennis, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Eden.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, great. Let's hear you.
Hi to the young girls in the studio. Okay. Eden, I am getting so much education from what the girls are saying in the house. And I want to encourage them. The best way to make it through this life is to stay with someone with an experience higher than what you have. Because that is the only way you will not repeat the mistakes that they have made. And you would be able to have a life better than what they had lived. So, yeah, we may have the disagreements with our parents, but let's find a middle way. I think we would rather have to choose the road of compromise instead of expecting our parents to choose the path of compromise with us, because if there is anything to lose, we have a lot to lose than them. And so let's find a way of accepting it. After how long would it be? If you are 13 years, by 18, which is like 5 years' time, they should be letting you off the hook of parental guidance, so strictly so-called, so that you would have your own life back together. And when it comes, you wish that sometimes you are doing some things that you consider private, your parents intrude, because they will let you off and then you will feel empty. But then, on behalf of your small girl, I want you to restore that relationship and trust, because you are the only one she has. God bless you.
She doesn't have a problem. It's even the end of the day. Okay, but thank you for calling. Just trying to get some of the messages. Hi, Pani. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm kicking.
Okay, great. You're on air.
Thank you so very much. I love these children. They seem to be quite intelligent. And
they're teaching us, so.
Yeah, and I appreciate it so much.
We are not emotionally intelligent towards them.
Like they said, their time is the e-technology, all right? Our time, I was even lucky to get some footwear to go to school, but that was all that I could get to complete school, especially when I would get into the audition to write the common entrance examination. At the time, my mother had to give me her chalewote to take me to the examination hall. Today, you have no choice but to provide for them what they want. If they don't get the sandals, they don't get this, they will not do anything. And it's something else, it's their age. We rather more like talk to them more than... In my time, it was a militancy style, regimental. You have no say. This is what the rules and regulations, this is what you have to do when you wake up in the morning, this, that. Sometimes you are punished, you are denied food. You have to sleep empty stomach. They are not facing these difficulties. And we've also learned from a lot of things in the past. I open up more to my children. I want to listen to them. My boy, I prevent him from going out because he is that skeptical. I can't, I'm afraid. For boys, they play pranks at each other when they go gather. Unlike the girls who want to have fun and talk about themselves, and perhaps sometimes secretly they talk about their parents and how they are maltreated or whatever. So these ladies, I appreciate them. They've come out boldly, said things which goes on in the home, which they think shouldn't be the case. Yeah, but we'll still have to guide them. We'll still have to make them understand we love them, and that is why certain things we have to put them in place.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Papani. You agree,
You're
right?
welcome. Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, I'm asking them.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for calling in.
Right,
This one
right.
says that, hey, these children, they want their parents to allow them make mistakes. Not lie. We will continue to check them until they are fully independent. They should wait. When they grow and have children, then they can look on for their children to make mistakes. Children will always be children. This is from Akuyeche from. Do you agree to that?
I'd like to ask Mr. Akuyache a question.
Hey, who is asking the question?
Karen. So, can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Akuyache, are you saying that the way you're talking is like your parents did not just sit back and let you make mistakes? Does that mean that when you were a teenager, you didn't make any mistakes at all, even with them looking over your shoulder and everything? Of course, we make mistakes. We are human. We are fallible. We are not saying that don't let us make mistakes, because you can't prevent them. Just don't like impose too much. Give us freedom. That's all we want.
Yes,
a
ma'am.
little bit of freedom.
Yes, ma'am. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm learning from them to become a better daddy. I want my children to flow easily with me. But Adam, most parents like imprisoning their kids, leaving them with no choice. I knew one of such parents, and when he passed, his children became wayward. Yes, they are kids, but we must respect them enough to allow them to live, not to exist. Good morning. And again, he says, I know of this family that all of them are so close that even when the females gave out their virginity, they did tell their parents. And then most parents are uncomfortable discussing sex with their kids. But this family, it's like the EPL. They talk about everything. It's so exciting. All right, great. Do you have those conversations with your parents?
Yes.
Do you talk about sex freely with them?
Yes.
Do they tell you what they know? Or they're no-go areas?
No, I learn about a lot of things.
You learn them on your own?
No, my mom tells me, and I learn about a lot
of them as well. How about you, Karen?
We normally talk about the mistakes people have made because of sex. But never really.
And you realize that most of the fears parents have, that's where it's coming from?
Yes.
Okay. How about you?
The same thing she
the same.
said.
You? You?
Yes.
Like, that's like the biggest point of conversation, huh? Okay. Yeah, I was asking about you and your perceptions about womanhood. DJ Odo. Okay, he's off. Yeah. Becoming a woman. What do you think?
One thing that like really scares me is pregnancy. Like,
Oh.
I've even heard people say that I'll adopt. I don't want to get pregnant because the way some women they talk about it. I mean, okay, definitely it's painful and it's a horrible experience. But then they make it seem like
It's the end of the world.
Yeah, they put so much fear in you, like you don't even want to give birth. So that's like one thing
That scares you about becoming a woman. Okay.
And I don't think becoming a woman is all about being able to take a family or being able to cook.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why a lot of people see marriage as an achievement. I think marriage is more of a blessing. If you are married, you are lucky. But if you are not married, that doesn't mean you are not incomplete. But then you see a whole lot of women being happy because there's a Mrs. added to their name. And then they feel other women without a ring are inferior to them. But then there's not much about it. I think being a woman is more about being independent, being able to live without a man's support, and then being able to know who you are and doing what you are doing for you, basically.
Great. How about you, Karen?
Same. I feel like when people talk about becoming a woman, it's all about the woman's role in the house and everything. But for me, becoming a woman is like to become a woman for me is to realize your capabilities and realize that women have a very substantial role in the community, because I feel like women are the fiduciaries of humanity, and that if we are able to grow up and break the boundaries and the stereotypical barricades and everything, people will realize that growing up to be a woman isn't just, oh, can you cook now? Or do you wash on your own now? Or, oh, when are you getting married? Ask me, Karen, oh, you want to be a neurologist? okay, what university do you want to go to? Is that all you want to do? Do you want to start an orphanage too? Something like that. But almost every time, someone, mostly an African adult, asks
Talks
you
about being a woman.
womanhood. It's about, oh, so you can't cook. Why can't you make palm nut soup?
Exactly.
Like that's not just what womanhood is. We are much more than that. We are much more than some kitchen patrons. I don't know how to put it.
I am glad I asked this question. Damiel, what do you think? What's your perception about, being a woman, an independent woman for that matter?
Being a woman is like when you're like able to handle certain things by yourself. When you feel like you don't need to depend on anyone else to be able to like do certain things. Like as Lauren said, I feel like life, like being a woman, is not always about getting married and having children, being able to take care of a home and all that stuff. Because like even yesterday, one of my teachers was like asking me that, like, I don't know, like in our school, I should cook, like I'm in the cooking club. So like we're making something and like I was struggling with it, and she was like, you don't do anything in the house. All you do is just sit down and people are always doing things for you. Even this, you can't even do it. And like she feels like just because I'm a girl, that is like what my life is supposed to be about. I mean, yes, I want to know how to cook, but I don't need to like make that like if I don't know how to cook, then like that's the end of my life. You don't have a life.
Yes, and I have a question. Why is it that cooking is always on women? Why can't a man? Why can't you teach a man to sweep? Why can't a man learn how to cook? I think marriage it should be 50-50. The woman can also pay the bills and the man can also cook. I don't think everything is the woman should cook, the woman should take care of the kids. I mean, I'm sure there are women out there who will say, okay, let my husband be at home, I will go to work and pay the bills. I'm sure there are women out there who will do that.
And not just in marriage, at home too. The chore shouldn't just be the girl's duty. The boy should also do something. Because, I mean, I have a friend.
I wish we had all day. My time is so up.
Oh.
But let me just hear Sonia's points on this before we go.
I think that women are not more than just housewives. Like some men prefer the women to stay at home and cook and take care of the children. When they even want to go to work, like they get angry and like, what are you going to do at work? We are the able-bodied people. We brought this country up. We built this country. So just sit down and take care of the children and stuff like that. And they don't want to give women the chance to speak and to like achieve their full potential.
One thing I want to add is that most women do not know their worth. Exactly. A lot of women don't know their worth. There was this, I think 2 days ago, about the lady with her child, and then when she said she went to Dovsu or something, the lady was like, it's a consequence of marriage or something like that. A lot of women do not know their worth. Yes, because I feel we are much more superior to the men. I am 100% sure that without us, the men would be nothing. They can't cater for themselves.
Saneva. You wanted to say something before I cut you, Nicole, quickly.
Okay, Nicole.
Okay, Nicole.
So one thing like that I've noticed in my house is that the thing with cooking, yes, it's important, but the way I'm trained, it's like cook, school, like you have to learn how to balance all of them. Like the way I've been taught. Women are very, very, very important, and like women we are very powerful because women, they go to work, they come back, they have time for their children. But men, my dad, for example, he spends 2 weeks or 3 weeks away from home, and then you come back, spend like some 4 days, and then he will go back
again.
And then my mom, sometimes she does travel, but then I admire her so much because she wakes up so early, 5 a.m., sometimes 4, gets to work so early, comes back late, but she still has enough time for us. And I think that people should realize that women, they are really important in that they do a lot of stuff, but then I don't know, because people say that now women, we can go to work and then we can do this and that, they also forget that we are the caretakers, so we should learn how to
do that.
So I think you need to be learn how to balance everything at once. It's not just about work, and it's not just about home. You need to
gosh, like I said, I wish we had all day. My time is up. It's 7:30. We need to go. Just this final message says that I am enjoying the show. I am just a little older than them, but I already have many regrets. The mistakes I have made in these few years, I wish I had a good rapport with my parents. They would have been avoided. I am in my final year, and I can tell you still don't have a rapport with my and I can tell I still don't have a rapport with my parents because they don't have the time. My advice would be just take advantage of every moment with your parents because you will understand soon enough. This is from Daisy in the Central University. I wish we had all day. Before we got on the show, they were very nervous. Not sure what they were going to say, but now they wish we were going up to like what, midday.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. We'll make time to have another conversation. I enjoyed hanging out with you. And I know that a lot of parents and, guardians, teachers, people out there have picked a lot from the conversations we have had. But also just to know that as parents, we care about you. We love you. We want the best for you. We wouldn't want you to slip in this life. That's how come there are times that we sound like we are overprotective. But we love you and we care about your welfare. The thing about us not being, too caring when it comes to, the emotional stuff, we will pay a lot more attention to it. On behalf of parents, I concede that we will pay attention to it, right? Thank you very much for coming through. My name is Adam Knight. Stay to Food 101. Thank you for our breakfast. Daniela, Fairboy, Efo said, thank you all very much. Enjoy your weekend. The Weekend City Show with Sally Forsin is coming up next.